The number one question I get asked is, what do I make to sell on my CNC? And after hearing how much these videos have been helping people and the inspiration they've been getting, here is another one. I've got 5 Christmas projects to inspire you to create this holiday season. By the end of this video, not only will you have the project inspiration you need, but also how to price them, how to make them, what tools to use, and some overall tips and tricks that I'll be sharing along the way. Let's get started. Most of the time, my inspiration comes from the internet. And today I am on Pinterest, and I found these tea light holders, these Christmas decoration tea light holders. And I thought these were really, really cool. In particular, they would be really well for scrap wood projects. You know, all those cutoffs that we struggle with. Should we throw them away or should we keep them? Well, here is a cool project for that. So we're gonna make them out of scrap hardwood. So something that can be tricky is these cutoffs, our scrap wood, can be different shapes. But we can actually maximize our material usage by nesting these tea light shapes, these different shapes, into the basically dimensions of our scrap wood. Of course, these can be made out of any shape. I really like the snowflake, the star, Christmas tree, reindeer, Santa Claus, different snowflakes. I think a really cool idea would be snowman. Snowman, you could fit 3 tea lights in it. So a lot of different options here and really simple to make. The bits to do this would just be a downcut bit or an upcut bit, something to cut a profile toolpath, the general shape, and to pocket the diameter of where the tea light would sit. Something to take this up a notch, because I love these ideas, but I always try to elevate them. How can we elevate this? And I think an easy way to elevate this is to chamfer the outside edge. Rather than just having a 90-degree edge where the profile toolpath will cut out, we can take a V-bit, a 60-degree V-bit, and put just a 1/8 chamfer on all these edges, and I think this really would take these to the next level. As far as pricing goes, I think we sell these in sets. They're so small, and who's gonna wanna just buy one of them? You could sell them individually, but I think a better idea is to sell them for three for $20 or something along those lines. But a set of 3, I think, is a really good move here. All right, so number 2 is this mahogany Christmas tree tray. So I had to dig this out of the storage for our craft shows because we sell these. And this one is made out of, actually it's called Cuban mahogany. There's tons of mahogany out there, but this is actually saved wood from a hurricane in the Florida Keys. True story. Bought the wood from them and I used it to make Christmas tree trays. Kind of interesting, but cool story, right? Like I said, this one is made out of mahogany, but you can make it out of any hardwood. I prefer a dark hardwood just because it elevates it. Light colors like maple or something like that, or oak, it works, but it kind of looks cheaper than something dark, rich. And this one is kind of dry, actually. It needs another coat of finish on it before we take it to the next show, but I really like the dark look. So walnut, mahogany, something along those lines. So this is made with 2 bits, a bowl and tray bit to pocket out the pockets, and then a profile toolpath to cut out the outside. So downcut bit, upcut bit, compression bit, something along those lines, but a 1/4 inch bit. This one is actually almost 2 inches thick. So I'm not able to cut through the whole profile. So I cut down as far as I could, pushed it to like 1 1/4 inches. And so then I had 3/4 of an inch, took it over to the bandsaw, cut out the rest of it through that 3/4 of an inch, and then took it to the router table and did a flush trim bit on it. So that's how I'm cutting that full depth. There are some extra long tools out there that I know you can buy. I don't have any experience with them. If you've got any experience using an extra long reach tool to cut a deeper profile than typical, let me know your experience. Let me know down in the comments. I've never used one myself, but I think that could save a lot of time on this. So we sell these for $75 a piece locally. And true story, the last time we had these at an event, we had a lady walk up to us, 15 minutes. The event had just started, 15 minutes. We had 3 of these ready to go to sell that day. And she walked up and she asked for 4 of them. And we're like, well, we only have 3. And she's like, okay, give me all 3. And we're like, wow, that was crazy. Now, we sold out, like I said, 15 minutes to the event started. I don't know how many we would have sold that day or if that was a one-off thing, but we have sold many of these for $75 a piece. Again, made out of mahogany. All right, for number 3, we're gonna head to ANDYBIRDbuilds.com. We've got a really cool project in here that I actually uploaded last year. The files are available. You can make this, you can sell this, but the Santa tray CNC project. So this project is similar to the Christmas tree, but where this is like a candy tray or, centerpiece, this is designed as like a milk and cookie tray for Santa. And it also introduces V carving to get the profile of Santa's face, but it has a place for milk, has a place for cookies. And so, like I said, these files are available on my website, SVG, DXF, Cut 2D, which is Carbide Create. Toolpaths are already set up for you. CRV file, which is Vectric software. Toolpaths are already set up for you. But we also offer the JPEG and PNG. So again, I picture this one being made out of a hardwood. So I think this would look really good. You can make this out of pine, but if you want to make like an heirloom piece, I'd make this out of a hardwood. It would look really good in mahogany. 3 toolpaths. You have a pocketing toolpath for Santa's face here. And then you have a V-carving toolpath for all the details. Use a 60-degree V-carving bit. And then you have a profile toolpath on the outside where you're gonna use your 1/4-inch tool, cutout tool, downcut, or something similar to that. So it looks complicated, but if you have Vectric or Carbide Create, these things are already set up for you. And really easy to do. Like I said, I don't care if you make this and sell this, make this and give it away as a gift, whatever you want to do. But as far as pricing goes, I would price this at the, depending what I made it out of, right? Materials are very important. Let's just say we made it out of maple, because we haven't made anything out of maple yet. All right, we'll make it out of maple, and I think we sell this for, I really would like to get this to a $50 price point. Because if you sold this for $50, I think you could sell a lot of them. But with material costs, I don't think there's enough there. So this is probably a $75 heirloom piece. You could make it, like I said, out of a cheaper material, sell it for a cheaper price. But I really feel like this is very similar to this, similar in size, similar in function. I think it's a $75 piece. All right, for number 4, we're heading back to Etsy. Christmas ornaments are a massive market. People love ornaments because, one, they're really small and they're easy to justify the purchase. People are always looking to add to their Christmas tree every year. But specifically, the reason I like this one is because it's baby's first Christmas ornament. And although this one's laser cut and laser engraved, you could totally do this with an eighth inch downcut bit on your CNC machine. But I like the 2 layers. It adds some dimension here, but this is really simple, and the materials are super cheap to make these as well. But the reason why I really, really like this one is because there are so many options. There's so many Christmas ornaments being made out there. But as soon as you personalize something, you're basically making it one of a kind. So putting people's names on them, putting dates on them, making them first. Think of first. Ornaments that celebrate first are really, really meaningful for people, and they don't even think twice about a $10 or $15 ornament. When baby's first Christmas, newlyweds first Christmas as grandparents, first Christmas in your new house. These are all events that you want to remember, and they make you feel good when you look at them, when you look at that ornament and remember those times. So a CNC technical note, it's really important to cut thin material, this 1/8 inch material with a 1/8 inch downcut bit, because there's not a lot of weight holding anything down, even if you're using work holding. If you're using an upcut bit, that stuff's going to want to pull up really, really easily. Ask me how I know. And it is just a mess. So make sure you use an 1/8 inch downcut bit to cut thin materials. All right, number 5 is taking us to Crate and Barrel. If you've never heard of it before, Crate and Barrel is a high-end store, high-end decor store. Let's call it that. And they always have a lot of great ideas. And I love taking ideas from these large retailers because they put a lot of time and effort into coming up with these. And when they have millions, if not billions of dollars on the line, their products are very curated, is the word I'm looking for. This one caught my eye. They call this the Warm Acacia Tannenbaum Christmas Ornament Tree. And I thought this was really cool because there's tons of options here. You can make any shape branch that you want. They have this kind of like this mustache look, which you could totally draw that in your CAD software and just replicate it, make it smaller, make it bigger. You can make the branches smaller or bigger, but you can also make the tree smaller to set, let's say, on a countertop, or you can make a tree that is designed to set in your living room that's, 3 or 4 feet tall. You can scale this up infinitely and scale this down infinitely. I guess maybe your CNC is going to be the limiting factor, maybe. But so I really, really like this idea. This looks really clean and really sophisticated. So I went back and forth here of what I would make this out of. I think I would make this out of pine, and I think I would stain it. I know they're making theirs out of acacia wood. If you don't know, everything at these large retailers is made out of acacia wood in other countries. I think this one's made in India. But you could go with a walnut. A walnut would replicate that acacia wood. The average person wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But cost, right? I think you can get the same look, the same vibe with stained pine. If not, you can always go to a hardwood, right? This would look good in any hardwood. But for this example, let's say we go with a stained pine look, right? There's a little work outside of the CNC. You're gonna have to drill the top holes through where they slide up and down the metal pole through the top of the branches. So that's easily done with a drill. Ideally, a drill press would work the best, but you could do it with a drill as well. This is a 1-bit project. You're just cutting profile toolpaths. The other thing is you're gonna have to source the pole, but that can be done easily at your local home center, and then you're gonna need some spacers in between each one. So the way I look at it, or the way I thought about it is you have your base and you have your pole running up. You put a spacer on, paint them all black first. You put your spacer on, then you put a branch on. You put a spacer on, you put a branch on. You put a spacer on, you put a branch on. And that way it gives it that space look. And then since they have the hole drilled in the middle of them, they can spin any which way so you can orient it anyway. And then you can hang your ornaments that you created from number 4 on the tree. So this can be decorated in a lot of different ways too, like these pictures, like people have done. So here is a savvy note for you. If you're wondering, like there's so many questions like, what do I make this out of? Well, I've covered that. How big do I make it? Well, I've covered that. But also, if you're wondering what size this one is, it says right here. Tree 17 and a quarter high by 11 inches wide by 7 inches deep. That gives you your dimensions to start off with for scaling. So you can scale this down or you could scale this up. Reading these different ideas in here gives you such a head start from just starting with a blank page. But look at what some of these people, how they're using this. Centerpiece, smaller one. There's a bigger one that's decorated. Cat's playing with it. Look at that. They literally have all the sizes right there. So that's really, really cool. Now, what about price? So Crate & Barrel, who has a brand, is selling the 17-inch for $80, the 25-inch for $100. Again, every time I've done these videos, I am a firm believer in we're not competing. Like you are not competing with Crate & Barrel. You're not going to be able to compete with them, nor should we try, nor should we necessarily try to sell these online. We can take this idea as inspiration, make it our own, whether it's a different shaped branch or whether it's a different material or whether it's a different size or whether it's all three, and we can sell this to our local customer base. We can sell this through Facebook. We can sell this just word of mouth locally, and we're not competing with them. So that's why personally, I like to make this out of pine. And if I'm selling the centerpiece one, stained pine for $50, and I'm selling the bigger one for the 20-inch one for $100, or if I'm selling a 3 or 4 foot one for $300, like I can do that locally. Don't feel like you need to go here and copy exactly what you're doing because you're not playing the same game as any retailer online. You're not. So play your local game and you can still be successful. Is there one of these projects that has stood out to you, that has inspired you? Which one is your favorite? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. I'm really curious which one has stood out to you. And where you see the most potential. Don't forget that the files and the bits that you need are available on my website for the Santa cookie tray. So there'll be a link down in the description where you can check that out. Before we wrap up here, I want to take a minute and just say thank you. Whether you are new here or whether you've been here over the past 4.5 years of me, of this channel, thank you. Thank you for your support. I know if you are still watching this video at this point that you are a true supporter of ANDYBIRD Builds and of me. And you enable me and to do what I love to do and help you, but also support my family doing that. So I just want to say thank you. No pitch, no nothing, literally just a heartfelt thank you for being here. And your support is what keeps me going. So thank you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.